Hello, you're watching GoonerTube. I'm Joe, and I'm joined by Andy. Hello, Andy. How are you, mate?
I'm good, Joe. You?
Well, I've had better days, but we'll come to that in a second. Now, we've just experienced
Yeah.
the 1-0 loss away to Manchester City, and straight away, your thoughts on the result first and foremost, and the way we played.
You know what, Joe? It's easy to get frustrated, isn't it, after a game like that? We just spoke just off camera, didn't we, about it's hard to take a defeat, but we've taken a lot over the last 2 or 3 years. But you know what? We've got to look really positively at that game. We've lost 1-0. Previous years, we keep going on about it. We were lost at 3 or 4-0 potentially. But we're making progress. Small steps and slow,
Yeah.
but we competed. For me, we competed, and that was the biggest positive out of everything today.
Yep. No, we definitely competed, and I was trying to get that across the door. Dorse was very arms folded and leaning back in his chair
Yeah,
in our thing. Because Dorse is he's played football to a good level, and I remember putting my arm around him on a few occasions. He hated losing, and he felt the
yeah,
frustration today because I think he felt that we potentially are in a much better place. And I did say to him that exactly what you said,
yeah.
and that is that we are getting better. You can see we're getting better. We're not the finished article yet. So,
No.
so, so we, to reach the heights of Manchester City, and we have to remember we were playing Man City today.
Absolutely.
You
We
know,
just we just we just lacked a little bit of creativity, and I think you've noticed that in the last couple of games. That we've got results, sometimes we haven't gone our way, but we just lack that little bit of creativity.
yeah, we
You
did.
know, and I'll tell you what, Joe, what strikes me as well that stood out for me. If I'm looking at little picky negative bits, Willian, what's happened to him? He
I
just
know.
seems to have lost the spark. He's lost that energy and lost that kind of forward-thinking mentality that he had
Yeah,
at Chelsea.
yeah. Do you
We just
think the
don't
fact?
see it, do we?
Do you think no? We didn't today, especially. He seemed a bit overawed by the situation and a little bit like a boy against men. It seemed a bit weird. I know he's not
Yeah,
the biggest person in the world, but he normally is like a terrier. He puts himself about, and he seemed a bit
yeah,
lost
yeah.
today. But I did pick on a couple of people today, and Dawes was saying, "Oh, I don't know if I should, really pick on." I said, "Listen, these players get paid a lot of money and
Yeah,
it's a privilege for them to put that shirt on at a time that we're going through now, and they're still earning abundance of wages and they're living very, very cushy
yeah,
lifestyles. It's okay to criticize them, especially if you feel they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing for your club. And
yeah,
I've got to be
absolutely.
honest, and I've said this before, but it feels as if Aubameyang, and we've talked about it, has gone missing in every game so far, or
Yeah,
most games since he signed that contract. Up to
since the
that contract,
contract, I agree.
seems really weird, doesn't it? I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm not one to have a go at Aubameyang or anything, but he looked out of his depth today. Again, I don't know if it was because Kyle Walker, like Dave said, he seemed to have him in his pocket, but I don't know. It seems really frustrating
I
watching him.
I agree. And you know what, Joe? It's not his body language is fine. I don't see sense anything from his body language that feels that he's just suddenly given up. I mean, you wouldn't give up just what 2 or 3, 4 games after you sign a
No, of
contract.
course not.
It just
Unless your
seems to
name's
be
Andy
lacking a
Bartel.
bit of And yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a valid point. Yeah, good point. But he just seems to have lost that again Willian's esque style, if you like, that ability to run up people.
Yeah,
He holds the ball, and rather than go at them or try and find space, he just seems to be backing off a little bit more.
yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
that's a mentality thing or something's happened, or I don't know what
I
it
don't
is.
know,
But
but
he ain't the same player.
really frustrating to watch. I mean, as well, I made
It
the point
is.
that I think Arteta made a mistake in not putting Nketiah on earlier. I think he should have brought him on with about 20, 25 minutes to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And to give Partey just a little run out at the end didn't seem the right thing to do. I would have preferred to have just kept him on the
Nah.
bench. He wasn't going to make that. As soon as he come on, he sat back. He didn't want to try and push forward because he didn't want to get caught in possession and make it
Yeah,
look silly. So it was I don't know. I didn't really agree with Arteta's substitutions and the way he did them today. If you're going to play Partey, you need to put him on for at least half an hour so he could start putting his stamp on
absolutely,
the game. Putting him on for 10 minutes, especially if he's really nervous as well, maybe he just wanted to get him
absolutely.
on there. And also there was a few decisions that I felt really went against us today. There was a
Yep.
there was a they seem to foul a lot, don't they, Man City? They know how to foul,
Yeah,
to stop, to
yeah.
break
They
up the
do.
play. And there was a few decisions I felt really went against us today. How did you feel about the way the referee ref the game today?
I'm the same as you, Joe. I mean, the obvious one was the penalty that wasn't given, the high foot. Actually, I didn't see it in real time. If I'm being brutally honest, I didn't notice it in real time. It's only when they replayed it, the
Yeah,
foot was a bit higher. And I thought, actually, that's a penalty. I mean, again, I know you can be biased, but if it had gone the other way, we'd have said, yeah, actually, that was a bit naughty, to be fair. He got away with it. I think it helped the fact it was right in the bloody half time, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And VAR probably thought, I've already put the kettle on. Right? I'm not going to look at that type of excuse.
Yeah.
But for me, actually, you know what? Again, a couple of things that stood out for me. I think the ref generally, I agree. I think Man City are bloody good at it, Joe, going back to your point. But a couple of other things that jumped out at me. Louise, and they're little things, but Louise, free kicks, please don't let him take another free kick. It drives me bloody mad. If you look at his stats, even at Chelsea, how many free kicks he's scored? Exactly. It can't be that many.
No, exactly.
And time again, he gets preference. Everyone lets him take this bloody free kick.
Yeah, I would maybe give Tierney or one of the others a chance at taking a free kick. You know, let's find someone else who's really good at free kicks. You know,
absolutely.
They must know this stuff on the training ground, or maybe he just gets them in on the training ground. I don't know. There's obviously
the games when you're lacking creativity, you know, that edge of the box, those free kicks, they're valuable, aren't they? Even more so. If you can't get behind them, and again, we've struggled a few times, haven't we, getting behind teams, to be fair, whether that's just the way the team's set up or it's just we haven't got any creativity, I don't know. But when you get those free kicks, for God's sake, put someone on the bloody ball, you've got a half decent chance. Luis is just poor at them. Great technique. I love the way he hits it. He never hits the target. If the
goal was 24 foot high, he'd score every time.
He'd be laughing.
Absolutely, mind you, so would me and you. I think at that from that distance, you know. My goodness me.
Exactly.
I mean, look, I suppose what we've got to take from today is it's a learning curve. We're playing one of the best teams that are probably going to be challenging. Well, that are going to be challenging for the title, whether 100%. We like it or we don't like it. They're going to be challenging for the title, or they're going to be up there with Liverpool and whoever else is there or thereabouts. But it's going to be between them two, I think, this season. Pep's got them back playing really well. Seeing the money he spent is just ludicrous, really, the amount of money. And they are a great side, you know, really tough side to break down. So I suppose we have to take positives from that today, don't we?
And we've got to accept, Joe, it's a 2-year, 3-year plan, right? I mean, if you look at Klopp, I don't want to keep you harping on about comparing him to Arteta to Klopp, but we've got to accept with the money we've got and the lack of maybe sometimes the backing, big money I'm talking about, from the boards, we're not going to be there for 2 or 3 years. And we've got to keep the faith in Arteta. I just noticed before I come on the call, looking at social media and just generally getting a feel for things, people, they're not on his back, but they're making criticisms. And I think, come on, guys. You know, we loved him. You know, just give the guy some chance. Well, really.
I think you've basically hit the nail on the head, and that is we've got to give Arteta that time. He has to be given the time. Adu has to be given that time. They need to identify players. Who's to say they're not going to try and go back and get a couple of players that they wanted from before, maybe in January or the end of the season. Once they've shifted Özil out of the way and they've moved a couple of players on, they'll have more funds there, and they can start building that side that Arteta really wants. But
definitely.
But like I say, I'm like you. I don't really take too many negatives from today. I thought we played. I think there was a lot of positives to take from today, and I think we can.
Gabriel,
move on. Yeah, absolutely.
Again,
looks he's very Rolls Royce.
Looks solid again, doesn't he? Yeah, I loved him.
He does.
Yeah, loved him.
And even the likes of Bellerin. You know, I know he made a couple of little silly mistakes, but he seems to be coming back to form now, and I'm really pleased that they're starting to play really well as a unit. It's going to be interesting to see what happens once Partey gets his foot in the door and starts playing. Harry wants to play, so that's going to be really interesting. We're
going to be hard to beat this year, and that's different for the last 2 or 3 years. If we lose, we're only going to lose like 1.
That's the main thing. If we're only losing 1-0 to Man City at I was going to say Main Road there at their ground, go show you how old I am. At their ground, it's not a negative thing. It's okay.
Yeah, agree.
We can breathe, you know. But thanks for joining me. I know it's 100%. A short one today, and I know you got a couple of people over. You don't tell me
just
how
a couple
many.
Of people, yeah.
Don't tell me how many you got over, because they'll be honest. I haven't got anybody over, but. So I'll be round in about 20 minutes if I can make up the 6. Or is it 4 now? I don't know. What is it? It's confusing.
I don't know. I've got a clue.
You've got a clue. Go and have another beer, and I'll catch
you. I won't care in 2 hours.
Well, if you've still got some breath left in your body or some blood left in your alcohol veins, then or your alcohol stream, then do us a Gooner view, because we're going to do those. They're going to be coming up, I would imagine, at some point over the weekend. But thanks for joining us, and
pleasure.
Like I said before, all the time, press the subscribe button, press the like button, press that notification bell. That means you'll never miss another bit of content that we do here at GoonerTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.